Since God created man from mud and soil, our human connection to the land is thought to be deeply ingrained in our DNA. While we don't think about it literally, we do believe that the place we were born in had a significant impact on who we became. In this video, we'll look at why you should never forget your roots. Hello and welcome to Luxsio. Today we are going to talk about why you should never lose sight of your origins. If you are new to our channel, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to not miss out on more inspiring videos. We are all born all over the world into a wide range of cultural and religious families. Few people begin with a silver spoon in their mouth. Most of them come from respectable backgrounds, and some have a long way to go before they reach the starting line. The location in which you were born has enormous value. Although you may not notice it, a small town or village where nothing ever happens fosters a desire in a small subset of the population to escape in order to better themselves. That's difficult to argue with. Years pass and you move, hustle, build, fail, connect, try again, and build on and on until it works. When you find yourself winning a decade later, that's when it happens. It's when you think you've made it and that you become someone else. Everything you come into contact with turns to gold. People adore you and they hang on every word you say. It's all too easy to get caught up in the whirlwind. There are two types of people: those who believe the illusion and those who remain grounded. We want you to remember who you are at your foundation and where you came from. You see, those initial values are what propelled you forward and enabled you to create the life you see around you. You begin to lose when these are overtaken by the new life. If you stop paying attention, the mirage can vanish in a fraction of a second. It is said that it is the man who blesses the land, which means that no matter what life tosses at you, it is up to you to help your environment prosper. Your blood, sweat, and tears will all be used to help the land grow. When life throws you curveballs, use them as fertilizer. That's what they're there for. There are numerous stories all over the world about people transforming deserts into forests or desert sand into an oasis. People can choose to bless the place they are in, and those blessings are carried down to the next generation. Do you want to make a difference in this world? There are only two things you need to be aware of. For starters, a good life is one in which you take less than you give. And two, in order for you to win, the giving part must be substantial. This is where monks go wrong, believing that by leaving the modern world behind, they will have a better life. But the more you think about it, the more you realize how selfish that is. You give up the world, the idea of starting a family, having children, and building in order to find and calm that inner storm in your life. You want to be happy in life, don't you? Try not to be happy. Try to be useful, and you will be rewarded with happiness. When you're making it big, it's easy to lose your mind. It's easy to become distracted by all the pretty things around you. Fortunately for us, our soul is scattered everywhere we draw. Walking back to where you started is the most powerful reset there is. As long as one is patient, one can enjoy revisiting the past. Almost every aspect of it is expected to have changed. But has it? Sure, the windows, doors, and rooftops are different, but the spirit of the place remains the same. It's people you know, people you're used to, and people you pass on the street. It's the trees who have been around longer than you have. Despite the fact that things appear to be slightly different on the surface, time has no business following the clock or the calendar for anything of depth. Reconnecting to your roots has real value. We discover that one blesses the land they walk on. However, the land will also bless those who do not forget where they come from. Don't forget where you came from, and don't forget who you are and at your core that has allowed you to become the person you are today. Recognize how fleeting everything is. Where you came from is your story. Your story is your ancestors' story, and you are vital to keeping their stories alive. When you visit your grandparents or parents in a cemetery, you get a powerful, eerie feeling. You realize how many people before you have fought, dealt with their own problems, and by some miracle of faith, everything is aligned beautifully for you to be here today. Your veins contain the blood of your forefathers. You carry them in your DNA, the key to living a prosperous life. Simply as a result of your survival today, there is a good chance that you had a great warrior among your ancestors, someone who has had to overcome greater challenges than you do today. You can do it! You may be influenced by them, or you may be ashamed of them. But keep in mind that the lotus flower blooms from the mud. When you look back on where you started, you can see how far you've come. You may be stressed, in pain, or suffering, or your life may be going well, but take a look behind you. You're the one who can make it all happen, and you're here today. We all know deep down where we came from and what it took to get here. We tend to judge our ancestors of 100 or 200 years ago for their beliefs and practices, but they will likely criticize us for the same reasons in 100 or 200 years. It's useful to know where you're from. It helps to keep you grounded, to return to where you grew up, because it allows you to appreciate the life you have right now and put where you're going into context. It was a combination of effort and luck that allowed you to escape and see the many versions of yourself that you could have become. We become who we are because of or despite our upbringing. People will attempt to take credit for your success. How come you turned out so well if I was so bad? But what people don't realize is that some people have been able to grab themselves spitefully out of misery in order to avoid having to deal with it again. For a long time, this has been a motivating factor behind our efforts. You don't ever want to be in that position again, and it's a great motivator if you can channel that into your work, art, or creativity in any way. You're going to win in the end. It's simply a matter of time. Before we end this video, you have to remember, you are currently getting what you are certainly worthy of, not what you have hoped for, not what you wished for. Your life reflects your personality. There is no way to cheat it, or at least not for long if you want to live a fulfilling life. What are the things you do to get the life you deserve? Share your thoughts in the comments. As always, thank you for staying with us today. If you haven't yet, make sure you like this video and watch out for more videos like this from Luxsio by subscribing. See you next time!